All right. We are live. Share stream, copy, Telegram, paste. Okay. There we go. Where is this other Ethereum? Let me bring him up. 1 second, guys. There we go. Now Ethereum is back as well, and there's BTC. And where are you guys? Still waiting for you guys to come in the chat. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Oh, there we go. Hey, Eric. Welcome. Thank you. Appreciate that. Eric, can you hear me loud and clear? Since you're the first person in here. And then if you do hear me loud and clear, we can go ahead and begin. Perfect. Cool. Thanks, Eric. So looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum, I want to quickly talk about the current trade setup, my Monday morning market update, and exactly what we were paying attention to. So let's talk about Bitcoin first, and then we'll go ahead and talk about Ethereum and everything else. So on Bitcoin, I mentioned to you guys, on Bitcoin, I mentioned to you guys the fact that if we are looking for a entry on Bitcoin, we are simply just going to wait for the 20 EMA, a candle close above the 9 EMA, and then our breakout trade, or of course, our secondary breakout trade on this wick high here at 64K. Now, looking at Bitcoin overall, we actually did manage to catch a very nice long position overall this weekend on this V-shaped formation. But now that the V-shape has completed, yes, it has completed, right? Looking at the wick highs over here, we did get a wick, so that technically is a completion move set. What we want to pay attention to now is this massive W formation looking to play out. The thing about Bitcoin right now is, of course, you can see from previous price analysis, when we originally had that dump opportunity at 68K, this happened within a few days, right? We had that capitulation and then we had a pullback. But right now, Bitcoin is showing quite a bit of strength in the current market. So what that means is, of course, if we end up breaking this midterm resistance, which I accidentally moved, if we end up breaking this midterm resistance here at 64.6, there really isn't any sort of resistance in between this zone. You can see that this was a point of interest, right? So a point of interest when you are trading is something where the market pulls back. So you can see when we had the original dump on Bitcoin, right? We had the continuation towards the downside. The point of interest was at 64.6. You can see that we actually had a few wick opportunities in terms of a retest and then the continuation towards the downside. And when you see something like that on a downwards movement, you can just put that as a midterm resistance level. And the way to have that confirmation is if you see the market reject that level once again. You can see right here, market ended up rejecting that zone. And then, of course, we fell right back again. And once again, we're in that same sort of zone opportunity where market is looking to retest that zone overall. But if you remember the fact that when you are looking for a bullish breakout, so something in terms of a bullish trend towards the upside or even a breakout trade, you have to remember the fact that this zone opportunity has been tested 3 times, right? This is now the 3rd test opportunity. So you can see we have the first test, the second test, and now we're looking for the 3rd test. And usually on the 3rd test, we tend to see a breakout formation. Now, if you include this, so you have your 3 test breakout, along with the fact that we're trading above our exponential moving averages, along with the fact that we have a W formation on Bitcoin looking to play out, that is 3 confluences for you guys to be looking for that long trade setup. That's what I explain to you guys all the time. When you question, hey, Pingu, how do you know when to go long or short? How do you know? The more confluences you have, so the more reasons you have to enter a trade setup, the likely chance of you actually looking for that trade is definitely going to be better, right? So like I said, if you have, let's say, 1 trade opportunity, the fact that it's on overbought, like just the RSI alone, and you look for a short, is that really the smartest decision when you have the overall trend in an upside? That's what I teach you guys is, look, don't just look at indicators in terms of trading. You have to pay attention to everything. Every single thing right now is, of course, pointing towards the upside for Bitcoin. Whether you think or not and how you feel about the market does not matter. Can the market continue pushing on higher? Yes, we have a perfect example of this happening right now. You can see on the daily time frame, we had a 62.6 or 62.3 retest in terms of the Sunday volume. We are, of course, haven't entered Asia hours just yet. Usually Asia hours, we tend to see that volatility come in. But right now, in terms of the daily, we still have the same W formation looking to play out as well. If you look on the daily structure, guys, look at this. This is massive, right? With Bitcoin, if we end up, of course, breaking above 64.6, this is the first time after a very long time we will have structure break. And when you have structure break, what happens, right? Look at how many times we tested Bitcoin's all-time high around the 71K region. Ladies and gentlemen, this will be the squeeze and the start to the craziest bull run you've seen. And that's why I tell you guys, everything lines up in terms of this market. Everything. Trust me, this cycle is repeating exactly as the previous cycle. Right before elections, we got that volatility. Elections ended. We had the greatest bull market we've seen since January beginning. Elon with Doge. Doge blew up. We had 6 months of the greatest time period we've ever seen. Yes, the same sort of situation is happening again. Now let's quickly talk about Ethereum. Now in Ethereum's video, I mentioned to you guys, look, most likely we will end up seeing a 20 exponential moving average retest. So I'm going to show you guys what I saw before I even sent it. So look, this was a current trade setup. So everyone following, I'm going to try to zoom in as much as I can. So look, this was a candle that I was looking at, right? And I said, hey guys, look, realistically, we haven't seen the 20 exponential moving average retest just yet. So, very common sense, if the 20 exponential moving average hasn't been tested right now, the chances of it being tested are a lot more likely when you see how many times we've tested the 9 EMA. The more times these levels of support are tested, the higher chances of them actually breaking. Now look what happened. Ethereum went, hit that 20 exponential moving average, right? We got that liquidity, and then we continued pushing higher. And for those of you that watched that video, that was your long setup right there. But I gave you 2 setups. The secondary setup was the fact that if we get the candle close above the 9 EMA, you can simply look into the wick high break and re-enter that long position into 27.11. Now, why is 27.11 so important? Well, looking at previous price analysis, you will notice that yes, of course, Bitcoin has completed its V-shaped formation, but Ethereum has not completed the V-shaped formation just yet. Ethereum is actually lagging quite behind. Why does it matter? Why is it at this level we're lagging? Well, if you look at previous price analysis, this is, again, what I've taught you guys so many times. Look at how many times we've tested this support. Look at how many times we've tested this resistance. Why is that resistance level important? Well, look, when we tested that resistance level once again, area of opportunity, we broke above, and now what happens when you break above a previous resistance? What should happen? It should turn into previous support. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now, is we're seeing previous support. Once we see the support level end up breaking above this resistance right here, sorry, yes, 26.28. Once we see that resistance level break, simply enter a long position. Why? Because you know the fact that the V-shaped formation has not been respected. The 9 and the 20 are holding, so they're holding their support level. They are being respected. This is a major resistance on the midterm that has been broken, and it has retested as support. That is 4 reasons why you should enter the trade for a long position. It is very simple, guys. Very, very simple. These trade setups are extremely easy to spot once you get in the habit of practicing your charts. What do I mean by that? There's 30 of you. You know, this is the first time I'm going to give you guys a psychological standpoint lesson. I want you guys to pay attention to this. Look, I understand that a lot of you guys are good or somewhat trying to learn how to trade. You guys want to learn how to trade. And again, while we're talking here, just pay attention to Ethereum, okay? We are right now, if you did enter that long, even on Bitcoin, look at the long position setup. This is a very simple long, right? I'll just pay attention to that wick high brace. You're entering the long. You are scalping. You are scalping this market right now. We are still on weekend volume, but you are simply just entering the long for quick profits in and out of the market, and you're calling it a day. Super simple trade setup. I know I haven't looked at your messages just yet. I will look at them in a second, but right now I just want to quickly talk about the psychological standpoint. Then we'll talk about the messages and do whatever you guys want. So psychologically, right, a lot of you guys in this Telegram channel, and of course a lot of you guys that I've spoken throughout the past 2 years, you all seem to struggle with the same few reasons that every beginner does. Number 1 is over trading. Now, the psychological standpoint is the fact that, look, I understand this channel, of course, gives you a lot of wins, right? It's a good channel, good trade setups and whatever. The problem comes when a lot of people overtrade. And what does overtrading look like? Overtrading is something like, for example, you enter a Bitcoin long, you profit. You enter an Ethereum long, you profit. Now all of a sudden you start looking for altcoin longs, or all of a sudden you start looking for re-entries on Ethereum or Bitcoin. Remember when I told you guys that 2 to 3% rule, or even 5 to 6% rule, if you can get it on a volatile news set? That rule still applies to this day, right? The psychological standpoint is you have to be disciplined. If you can take 2% every single day on these trade setups, you are locking it in. I don't care if the market breaks all-time high. I don't care if we see the largest squeeze you've ever seen. You missed out on your profits. Having that mindset of 2% a day is extremely important, because guess what? A lot of traders don't hit that a week. Once you get good at the 2% rule, then you can start paying attention to larger targets, right? Once you know that, okay, the trade is in profit, I'm putting my stop loss in profit, I have locked in 2% as per Pingu, and now the trade continues pushing higher. What do? Are you going to hold it overnight? No, you're simply just going to continue putting your stop loss higher and higher in profit. Once the trade reverses, you've caught pretty much most of the move set. The secondary rule set, of course, other than over trading, is a fact leverage. Guys, I have seen some of you trading 50, 60, 100x leverage on these trade setups, and you question why you are not profitable in terms of trading. Have you guys noticed that a lot of times when I send you guys a trade, it is not perfect. It is not to the dollar, unless it's a wick resistance retest or EMA retest. We get volatility in between, right? That's where your leverage becomes very important. I always tell you guys, 10x leverage, 10x leverage, 10x leverage. You guys need to understand the reason why I give you those levels is because the market is going to become extremely volatile. Look, I am just a guy, a talking penguin that has been doing this for a very long time. I will tell all 35 of you in this stream right now, elections is no joke. It is no joke, and the volatility you are going to see that week is going to be insane. You're going to see Bitcoin and Ethereum fluctuate tons of percentage. And if you are still one of those traders that has a hard time of sitting there and trying to catch a trade, or you miss a trade, it is going to be very important for you to sit down and start understanding what you do. Now, speaking about missing a trade, this is also something that I've noticed from a lot of you guys, and you need to understand this. If I say Bitcoin or Ethereum, so let's give Ethereum example real quick. If I say Ethereum is going to 2711, that's our level we're going to be paying attention to. And the trade setup happens right here. So we break 2634. Guys, let's be real. Asking me, is it too late when you still have a good $80 trade in between? No, it is not too late. Questioning yourself saying, oh, I missed the entry. I should have entered at 2634. Now it's at 2653. I'm going to wait for a pullback. It doesn't happen. It continues higher. I'm going to wait for a pullback. It doesn't happen. It continues higher. Then at 2680, I'm going to enter. You enter, and then it pulls back. You're like, oh, I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what I'm doing wrong in trading. You're not doing anything wrong. The problem you're having is you're overthinking the trade. If the overall level is 2711, does it necessarily matter if you enter here, if you enter here, or if you enter here? $3, $4, $5, $6 in terms of 10x leverage, 5x leverage does not matter. You're not always going to get the perfect opportunity. And I'll give you guys a perfect example of this. Look at the 20 exponential moving average that just happened. If you entered, right, on the 20 EMA exactly. So let's say you were waiting for the 20, you entered on 25.42 exactly. The market hit all the way down to 25.25. This is where the psychological part comes from. This is the hardest part to learn. If you as a trader, you're confident, you've been doing it for a very long time, you know that A, it's Sunday, it's going to be manipulation, and B, this is just not a break. A break structure, of course, would be a previous of wick low. So it would have been down here at 25.15. If this broke, then yes, that's a false move. You would have closed the trade. There are times where you're going to be in drawdown. There are times where you're not going to get the perfect opportunity. But guys, that is a part of trading. The more you think it, the harder it becomes. You guys see me, I wake up, I send the trade, I go to bed. I don't give a shit what happens after that. You guys have seen, I literally go play pickleball for like 3 hours. I come back and I'm like, oh, LOL, it hit take profit. Some of you guys are messaging me like, Pingu, it's going to hit. Pingu, what do I do? There is nothing to do. If I have given you the level, then the level is going to happen. That you guys have seen, I very rarely am I wrong. And again, it's not magic. It's literally just support, resistance, EMAs, and understanding candlesticks. It is super simple to understand. The more complicated you make your trading, the harder this becomes. Trust me, guys, I don't know why you have the volume indicators on your charts. I don't know why you have the whatever you have. UFO, I saw a YouTuber, like, I have this, I have that. It doesn't matter. You don't need any of that. My charts are very naked. Look, very simple trades. Okay, we're breaking above 2580. Why is 2580 important? Well, look, it has a point of confluence from a support. It has a point of confluence from a resistance. Is it going to be a long setup? Yes. If I entered at 2580, it's at 2590. That's $10 Ethereum, 10x leverage. You are profiting. You are scalping. You are taking those gains. You overall are long, right? Overall, the trade is long. So how much can you really mess up? If you short, that's on you. That's a completely different trade setup, and that's a whole different lesson. Counter trading in terms of an uptrend is a skill. It is not easy to do. I do it very rarely. Do I send you guys a trade sometimes? And what I mean by that is the EMA retest trades. I know a lot of you guys have a lot of questions for those trades. I know a lot of you guys really want to learn those trades. Let me give you a quick little reminder, just a quick little thing, okay? I am not a guru. I don't know when the EMA is going to break, okay? I don't know why whenever I send it, it ends up breaking. It's not magic. I don't know. What I do know is what I pay attention to is how many times has that EMA been tested. What does that mean? Well, if you look at Ethereum right now, you can see that we have not tested the 20 EMA from the original move set of 2317. So from 2300, the 20 EMA was never tested. What happens? Well, I zoomed out. Very simple. I zoomed out. Where is the next point in Ethereum where there's major resistance? Is it here? No. Is it here? No. It's here, right? Right at 2580, right around that zone. So what are the chances where there's going to be a lot of profit taking and, of course, the opportunity for the 20 EMA retest? It was simply at 2580. Look at how many times Ethereum tested that zone and rejected. We had a false break, right? Okay. But we didn't get the EMA retest. But then look what happened. The market started to slow down right here. This was weekend volume, right? I tell you guys not to trade weekend volume. Sunday night we trade. Sunday night, what are the chances now that the EMA is going to be retesting, right? Yes, there's a lot likely of a chance we see a wick. Boom. There was a wick. Boom, there was a trade opportunity. And now for the third test, boom, there is those. For those of you that are conservative, enter the long position in 2711, lock in those profits, call it a day. That is literally all I do. I don't complicate this for you guys. I don't make it hard for you guys. It is very, very simple. Trust me, guys. I'm begging you to learn this because other people would charge you thousands of dollars for the same thing I'm giving to you guys for free. And I'm not saying I'm going to ever charge you thousands of dollars for anything. I just want to make it a point that all of you guys start learning to do this on your own. Some of you do. Some of you are very profitable traders. Some of you are still struggling. And I'm only one person and the channel is growing extremely fast. So I will try my best to do these live streams as much as I can. But when I do these live streams, they're all recorded. Go back to my live streams and learn what I say. Then practice it. That's going to be the best thing for you long term is to practice. Anyways, I'm going to read the chat now because we've been talking for like 18 minutes straight. All right. Will the crypto market be affected by whoever wins the presidential election? Eric, my personal opinion on this, my microphone just fell. Eric, my personal opinion on the fact that whether the US elections, Kamala wins or Trump wins, is it simply just noise. You do not need to, realistically, we had the same sort of debate back when it was Hillary versus Trump back in the day. I'm not a political person, but again, obviously it depends on who wins to an extent. And what I mean by that is, depending on who wins, we're going to see that initial sell-off or that initial huge run. But after that, it's just noise. It's always going to be noise. So you're much better off just focusing on the charts, looking for major zones that you can scalp, and of course, exiting those trades as you can. That's it, Eric. Super simple. You don't have to pay attention and look at the stats, who's going to win, and position your portfolios accordingly. You don't need to do any of that. I have a long trade open on Hbar right now. Do you think I should keep it or close it? Sports players, so the thing I just mentioned is with altcoins. If you are looking for altcoin trade setups, you have to be aggressive because when Bitcoin and Ethereum end up falling back, your Hbar trade goes south immediately fast. So no more 48K level test, just waiting for you to say when we go into our spot. Fart Pudgy, okay. We can talk about spot after. I'll actually give you guys a lesson about spot later. How can we maximize profit on this bull run? Turbo is number one is knowing what to invest in, which sector to invest in. Number two is you want to be very aggressive. You don't necessarily want to hold a trade for too long. What I mean by that is your portfolio trades. If you're investing in the long-term trades, like, Cardano, Hbar, whatever, you think of long-term, then good. Then you're fine. Just literally hold it. The hardest part in a bull run is to know when to sell, because every single day you wake up, it's going to be 30% higher. That's the hard part. That's something I don't even know how to do, because again, you never know what the peak is. Trust me, I've held coins that were at 2 cents. It hit 20 cents. I'm like, all right, calling it a day. See ya. I'm closing. I held that spot position, whatever, 3-4 years. I take 10x. I'm happy. Literally the next day, it goes to $2. You got to understand, 20 cents to $2 in one day. I sat there in shambles. I'm like, this doesn't even make sense. Like, how is this possible? Then it hit $7. And if you know which coin I'm talking about Decentraland. That shit was crazy. And again, that's why I tell you guys, look, I can only tell you so much in a bull run. It does not need to make sense. It will continue pushing sometimes. It just depends. Okay, so that answers your question, Turbo. Leverage, Michael, leverage 520 or 125. When do you use? What are your thoughts, please? So, Michael, when it comes down to leverage, most of my positions are 10x. The only time we do 125x is on Thursdays for degenerate gambling. It's just something we've been doing for a very long time. We will continue doing it. And again, it's not meant to be followed. It's just literally just for fun. So you vote and I play it. That's it. Is that 2% your overall? Is that 2% of your overall account balance? Poochie, yes, that is. 2% of your trade. So Poochie. Okay, Poochie, good question. Let's say my account is 10 grand, right? There's a few rules out there that a lot of people have and a lot of traders that have that you should. So $10,000 is your account balance. The rule set, what most people say is 2% of your account should be used. So that would be $200. So $200 per trade. This is a good mindset to have. The thing is, what the problem here is if you're not a profitable trader, this can be bad. This can go reverse for psychological, and I'll explain why. So having 2% per trade is great if you're winning. If you're 2% per trade and you're losing and you've had 7 losses in a row, now you're down $1,400. Now you're looking at your 10K balance and all of a sudden you're gonna be like, shit, I gotta make this back. Boom. Immediately you open up more leverage. Boom, your account blows. I've seen it happen. I have done this a lot. My personal opinion to you is focus more on this percentage in terms of a win. And if you are, of course, trading, it depends on your risk tolerance. So obviously don't put all of it in one trade. But if you have higher risk tolerance, then yes, you can add a little bit more. Anything below 5%, I think is fine. Anything higher than that, I think is a little overkill, unless of course you're scalping. If you're scalping and you know you're going to be out of the market in 5 minutes and you're sitting on the computer, completely different story. But again, this 2% in terms of account size makes sense for people that are very profitable. This does not make sense because then the risk to reward is not there. If you're doing 2% risk for a 1% win over time, if you're not a profitable trader, you are going to be losing, right? You're going to be losing. This also brings me to the next point is don't switch it up. Don't all of a sudden do 2%, 5%, 1%, 6%, and then be like, oh, I'm not profitable. I don't know what's happening to me. Yeah, because your 6% risk was a loss. Your 1% risk was a win. Keep it simple. You'll know what type. The money that you're not willing to lose sleep over is the percentage you should be using, but focus on the wins. So that I hope that explains that. What about Solana? Been a long time you sent something on it. Yes, I will. Again, I haven't talked about altcoins because I don't really see a reason to. I will talk about altcoins once Ethereum does its run at 27.11. Then I'll start making altcoin videos. There's really no point in making them otherwise. It's just literally just sideways. Hey, Allison. When are you going to be making the Shiba update? I just answered that. Man, that's the thing. Can you do a quick analysis on Wolf? No, I'm not, because I don't even know what that is. If it's a meme coin, I will not. I don't know. Unless you meant WIF. But Dog has just follows Solana pretty much. So when Solana runs, you'll see WIF run too. So right now, no. Devin, levels please for long-term purchase. Devin, like I said, levels, I don't do a technical analysis on Devin. I've been holding Devin for a very long time. I will continue holding it because I know for a fact that AI will always be the main sector for this bull run. Sooner or later, Devin's going to run. Sooner or later, it will run. And that's good enough for me to hold. You guys remember my meme coin plays? I've held some memes for like 6 months and then one. I don't mind holding Devin, so I'm okay with it. Pingu, is it possible to trade using your indicators you use on Robinhood on my phone? No, Flynn, we've talked about this before. If you are not signed up for Jumpex, please sign up for Jumpex, guys. They give you so much money back in terms of rebates. It takes 5 seconds to open an account. Leverage trading, we all scalp. We are scalpers in this market. The fees add up. I beg you guys need to understand there's a reason why, is because the fees are so minimal and the money back in rebate adds up, mostly as a beginner. So that's, for you, Flynn. How do you know when to close trades, especially scalps? Turbo, is completely up to you. You should know where exactly you're happy with. The rule set that I've always explained is, look, if I'm entering a trade and I'm up $300 and I have to go somewhere, I'm taking that $300 because that's $300 you never had before. That is more than enough. That's someone's salary in a week sometimes in some countries. That's the logic you have to play with. If, of course, you are up 2, 3, 4 grand, whatever, I'm just giving you numbers though, it's pretty much where you're happy with. If you're up $50, and like I said to you, you're like, I don't mind holding for a little longer. Of course, the target hasn't been hit yet. Then you are welcome to hold it. But when I say be aggressive, that literally means you enter the trade. Ethereum moves up $8, $9, $10. You're locking in those profits. That's why I always get, oh, well, Pingu, the fees. Well, yes, that's why you go on Jumpex. That's why we can do these trades multiple times in a day and we don't have to care. That's why I tell you guys, go on Jumpex. Do you ever go to any crypto events? I have been invited to many crypto events. I just never go to any crypto events. There's nothing against crypto events. I just find it weird. Like, I've been invited by the NFT community too. Like, people in the NFT community are like, yo, Pingu, come out, man. Well, whatever, we'll have fun. Man, it's not my thing. Like, I'm more of a homebody, and I don't know. I just prefer to be a homebody. So, when scalping a break, what if it breaks with no volume and the market starts reversing? Why is that? Well, it depends on the day you're trading, right? So if you're scalping on a break, sometimes, like I said, the break can reject, right? So like I said, you see here yesterday, I said 27.11, but we were all trading on weekends, so just be cautious. So look, the trade did reverse, right? So it started reversing on no volume. Why? Because we're on weekend volume. Like, there's no reason for the trade to continue pushing higher. And that's why I teach you guys, there's 2 ways of trading. Number 1 is on the EMA retest. Number 2 is simply just waiting for wick high. You can literally just wait for wick high as a conservative trader, enter on the wick high, and then simply lock in those gains on the way towards the upside. Super simple trade setup. Super simple. Do likes and videos help out substantially? Flynn, I'm going to be 100% real with you guys, all 30 of you in here. Look, you guys, I have never asked you guys for a single anything in 2 years. When you like my videos, it pushes it out on YouTube a lot. It's like, when you're watching a YouTube video and on this right-hand column, it says recommended. So remember those 2 videos that you guys liked when I asked you guys, hey, can you guys like these? Those 2 videos you guys liked performed better than all of my videos have in the past 2 weeks. So that's why I tell you guys, look, when I make a video, it takes 30 seconds out of your day to just like and comment it. That's it. That's it. And in terms of channel, like you guys have seen, we've been in terms of Telegram, we've been growing steadily, right? But from YouTube, because you guys have been liking it, last week I gained 66 subscribers. So, and just if you think about it, if I can gain 66 subscribers a week, sooner or later, yes, it will take off. So yes, they do help. So I appreciate that. Yeah, so I don't know. Anything else? We're almost at the 30-minute mark, so I got 2 more minutes for you guys. I want to keep it short for those of you that are coming, or rather watching it, because no one wants to sit here and watch all of this, right? So, do you guys have anything else? Yeah, I appreciate that, sports. Appreciate that a lot. I'm not going to make videos today, obviously, because it's Sunday. There's no reason to. I don't think, at least, there's a reason to. Let me see. Maybe a Doge update. Sometimes on Sundays I do Doge because Doge surprisingly moves. Yeah, no. No point. Actually, no, wait. There is a point. Yeah, no, there is a point. I'll make a Doge video. There is a Doge. I didn't even realize. Doge actually hit our level, guys. No one told me. That trade that I kept moaning about for days, it actually hit. Look how clean it hit, too. No one said anything. Look at this. Look, to the dollar. To the exact dollar. Look at that. Look how clean that is. And that's why I tell you guys, look, these lines are special. These lines are special for a reason. So, yeah. I will make a Doge update. I don't want you to become famous when everyone would know the strategy and market makers will start trading against us. No, Turbo, that'll never happen. You know why? Because I've been using the same strategy for about 4 years now. And trust me, that's not how it works. The EMAs, market makers know about the EMAs. My strategy is not off an indicator. That's why it works, right? I teach you guys. I always tell you guys this, and I genuinely mean it. I will always be here for you guys, no matter what. No matter what, no matter what happens. Like I've seen my favorite crypto YouTubers when I used to watch back in the day, they quit. They retired and they quit. Because at one point their channel blew up so much. They were at like 100K subscribers and they just made so much money and they were just gone. Like they haven't made a video in like 3 years. I will never leave you guys. Like no matter what. And I will never charge you guys for anything either. It's funny because the other day, like 2 days ago, and I'm not bashing any specific YouTuber, but 2 days ago, I was looking at a channel. I'm not going to name names, but it was at 70,000 subscribers. His videos were getting 200 views per video. And I was like, that's kind of odd. Like, is it botted or whatever? And I go look, and he's charging $150 a month for exactly what I give you guys for free. And I go in the Telegram, and there's like 4,000 people in there, and they're all just complaining at how bad his signals are. And that's why I tell you guys, look, like, if you don't like my channel, you can go out and go learn from someone else, but just be ready to pay. Because my thing is, and I thought about this, and I know as a business model, it's the worst idea ever, but I just wanted it to be free because I'm probably the only single person on YouTube that does everything for free and genuinely everything for free. Because people always say, oh yeah, it's free. And then, like I said, they'll be like, here's my Telegram, you know, join it, it's free. And then they'll like give you like a little spoon feed of one signal a day and be like, my VIP channel's killing it, join it. So yeah, I don't even do that. I'm just straight up like, no, it's free. It's straight up free. Like there is nothing I pay for you guys. So yeah. Thomas, would you long ETH right now? You can long ETH. I mean, you had 2 trade setups, Thomas. So like I said, you can simply just wait for the EMA break or so 2630 break to play conservative. You don't want to trade this chop. So yeah, maybe not. You already missed a trade here on the EMAs, so. I remember how you called out that Shiba trade and it jumped 400% 2 weeks later. Yeah, that was a spot trade, right? So like I said, there's a time when I know it's time for spots, and that's when I start giving you the spot trade updates. I will give them to you, but now's not the time. Yeah, thanks, Pudgy. I get excited when you do send a Telegram. Sorry. No, Flynn, you're good. Yeah, I know. And that's the thing, right? I don't spam my Telegram channel. I don't, because I know a lot of you guys have notifications on. Could you imagine I sat there sending 30 messages a day? No one would want that shit. That's why I just send like 2 or 3 a day max. And it's like super simple. The only time I send an update is if it's a trade or it's a good morning. That's it. It's literally good morning, chart, trade, good night. That's it. 4 messages a day. Sometimes I don't even say good night. I just fall asleep. So it's super, super simple. Yeah. No, I appreciate that, guys. Yeah. Anyways, that's it. We're 32-minute mark. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys so much for coming. It's a great Sunday. It is 7:30 p.m. over here, and I'm going to go eat dinner. I appreciate you guys for coming once again. I will send a Doge update because nobody told me that Doge has hit the resistance level, which I will update. And again, the 26 of you that are in here, listen, this is a me one-on-one, okay? Please, just throw me a like. If you guys all liked my video, all 25 of you that are just listening, that have made it to the end, if all 25 of you liked my video, you know how big this channel would be? That's it. That's all I ask. I just want to see 10K subscribers. That's like my long-term goal. You know how cool it is? Like, oh yeah, I do YouTube. Oh, how many subscribers you got? 10,000. That's so cool to say. So yeah, you know, I appreciate that. All right, guys, I will update Doge for you. Wow, look at that. Look at me. Like, dude, why do I have to ask you guys for likes? Look at this. We were at 6 likes. Now we're at 23. Come on, guys. Just do it. Do it for me. Just like it. You know, I don't have to ask every time. Just give me the love like I give you guys the love. I care about you guys so much. Just give me a like. That's it. All right, comment, no problem. All right, guys, I'm out. See ya. Thank you guys so much for coming. And again, this is recorded. Please watch this again. Please watch this again, because there was a lot of psychological stuff that I've taught you, and I will continue teaching about psychological. That's something we've never talked about, and I understand why. I know why I haven't. But I'm going to slowly start talking about it now. So it's not too much information, but it's just enough for you guys to spot it early and stop your mistakes. So again, this is my way of, you know, just adding a little bit more for this channel every single day, and I'll continue doing it. But yeah, got you guys. Have a good night. Goodbye.